Good morning, Front Range. My name is Cody and welcome to Front Range Bike Reviews. I am bringing you this channel to review the latest and greatest technology these bike manufacturers have to offer. Whether you just enjoy this content or you're looking to make your next bike purchase, I hope to make this relevant for each and every one of you. Today we're going to start out on a 2020 Gen 5 Trek Fuel EX, and I'm doing this for a very specific reason. As many of you may know, getting into mountain biking can be tough and it can be really expensive. This bike right here can help you do that. If you can still find a lot of them new, you can find a lot of them used, and this is an awesome bike. It goes up really well, it goes down really well, and so that's why I have chosen to start this channel on this bike and give you my honest opinion on what this bike has to offer. Today we're here at the beautiful Apex Park here in Golden, Colorado. It's an awesome day to ride. We're gonna go up, we're gonna come down, and I'm gonna give you my review on how this Trek 2020 Gen 5 Fuel EX performs. When the video is all said and done, we'll sit down and we'll look at the exact specs of this bike because I think that's really important. For your reference, I am 5'11", I'm about 190 pounds, and this is a size large. This bike feels quite big. I would say it feels like an extra large in almost all of the other bike manufacturers. But like I said, I really like the sizing of this. Let's go ride, come on. Okay, Front Range, we are here at Apex Park, Golden, Colorado. The first part of this trail is called Argos. I really like this trail and believe it is such a good place to start demoing these bikes because it has such good variety. You'll see here, it's pretty flat, sit and spin, not terribly technical. You can hear me breathing really hard. It's relatively steep, but it has so much variety. This flat, and I'll show you some super techy climbs. Again, so you can get a feel for how this bike is performing. Again, it's a Gen 5 Fuel EX 9.8. It is mostly stock. All I have done is upgraded the brakes and thrown carbon wheels on, and as well as carbon bars, I guess. Everything else though is as it comes, and it does really well. It feels super efficient. It's got lots of traction. It has a 140 millimeter Fox float up front paired with a Fox rear shock, 130 millimeters. It just does well. Getting into a nice little hairpin section, so you can get a feel for what it can do. Now this first corner is not super tight, no problem. It keeps climbing. And for reference, the Fox float in the rear, I just have set in the middle setting. It's not open or firm, and it's doing great. Now this hairpin, much tighter. Gotta add a little bit of power to it and sort of pull that front tire around. It does it fine. Some other bikes do it better. I'm by no means an expert, and if I can do it, I'm telling you, you can do it. This is where we get to our first technical climb. This is going to test every bike we review here at Front Range Bike Reviews. It requires acceleration, balance, all of the above. But this bike just does it so well. You can see you gotta apply the power. Do a quick shift forward on the seat. So much of these, yes, it requires traction and forward seat position, but this bike just does so good. All right, no problem for this bike. Okay, we are done climbing. Let's put this bike to the test on the descent. I've opened up all of the suspension. This section's a nice little hairpin down. It's really fun. Coming in high. Bike gets a little bit chattery, but a lot of that's because of the Fox 34 on the front. It could easily be upgraded, but I just haven't. It gets a little overworked in some of the real chunky stuff, but for the most part, does a fantastic job. Plenty of playfulness and speed in and out of these corners. It just a bike that you just have fun on. All right, now this part gets pretty chattery. It's a good test. Hello, good morning. Real tight hairpin here. No problem. This is where this bike just absolutely shines. It's really flowy. Hi guys. It's really flowy. It's not crazy technical. And so you can just let it open up and cruise. Have to be a little careful. For hikers today. But the bike is just so planted in this type of terrain. A little bit rocky there. No problem for the Fox 34. A little bit chattery, but like I said, for a bike, for one bike, if that's all you can own, it just does well. A little off balance there. A couple of runners up here. Slightly different type of descent here. We're getting ready to come back down the front part of Apex. Much more rooted out, much more technical, chunky as we come down this front part. If you pick your line on this bike though, still does real well. Unlike that. Hello. Nice. Have to keep watching out for bikers and hikers, being respectful on the trail. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, thank you. It's really nice through that kind of stuff, as long as you're focused on where you're putting that front tire. Hi, excuse me, thank you. It's a little bit loose up here today because it's so dry. Bike's still cornering now. Good morning. Alright, should be able to open it up a little bit. Ooh, that corner was really loose. Back into the second part here. Hopefully no one coming. Nope, all ours. Real sharp, knock block, not a problem. Hello. Nice, no problem. Getting close to the bottom there. A couple of switchbacks. The bike is just so playful. Does a nice job accelerating out of the corner. I would not say this front fork is getting overworked at all. Good morning. Fun little slide there. Hello. All right. Finish strong here. Truck Fuel EX, just handling the front side of Apex Park, no problem. Good morning. Gotta say good morning to everybody. Keeping it Colorado friendly. All right, Front Range, I've decided we're gonna end each video in a special way. And our last grading criteria of a bike, ended on a wheelie. How does it do? Let's see. Here we go. What a great ride out there today on our 2020 Trek Fuel EX. Let's take a look at the geometry for this bike. We need to start this conversation by talking about what Trek calls the Minnow Link. The Minnow Link is a flippable switch that this bike has on the rear triangle that allows us to personalize this bike to our riding styles. So if we're looking for a bike that's a slightly better climber, we can put the Minnow Link in the high position. If we're looking for the bike to be slightly better in the descent, we can flip the Minnow Link to the lower position. Here's what that Minnow Link does for us. And it's very easy to switch. It's really done with a very simple tool. But what it does for us is it changes three numbers. It changes head tube angle, seat tube angle, and bottom bracket height. With our Minnow Link in the high position, making that bike more geared towards climbing, the head tube angle is 66.5, the seat tube angle is 75.5, with a bottom bracket height of 346 millimeters. Really good middle of the road numbers for a versatile bike. If we switch that Minnow Link to the lower position, we see things slacken to 0.5 degree, as well as the bottom bracket height reduced 7 millimeters. So our numbers are a head tube angle of 66, a seat tube angle of 75 degrees, and a bottom bracket height of 339 millimeters. What that does is it slackens the bike out, makes it easier to descend, as well as reduces that bottom bracket height, reducing our center of gravity, getting us a little closer to the ground, allowing us to go down just a little bit faster. A few other numbers that I want to highlight here are reach, 475 millimeters on a size large. What I find really interesting when I look at the numbers from other bike manufacturers, it's actually closer to all of the other bikes' size larges than I'd thought. But like I said earlier on in this video, this bike feels like a bigger bike, more towards that extra large. Same thing with the wheelbase. The wheelbase is 1,207 millimeters. Very, very normal numbers for a bike size large. Something again about this bike just feels a little bit bigger. Maybe it is because of that knock block, again, making it slightly harder to corner uphill, but still very doable. So that is the 2020 Trek Fuel EX. Such a great bike. Again, the reason that I wanted to start out this channel reviewing this bike is because it really is a very solid bike for this category, and I really like that you can still find them new and find them used at cheaper prices. That's good for all of us. Coming up next week, I'm going to review a bike that I am very excited about. It's from a bike manufacturer here in Golden, Colorado. You guessed it, it is the Yeti SB140 Lunch Ride. I have heard such amazing things about this bike, and I'm so excited to get on it and give it a full review and bring it to each and every one of you here at Front Range Bike Reviews. Please do me a favor. Smash that like button, click subscribe. It helps me continue to grow the channel. And please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section as to which bike you would like me to review next. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.